Well, joining me now to talk more about these results and what we can anticipate is Gil Luria. He's head of technology research at DA Davidson. Gil, always great to see you joining us this morning from Portland, Oregon. What is your expectation for the results that we'll see this week?
We should have a good week. We learned from Google last week that two of the key markets are doing well. The digital advertising market is doing well. Google continues to grow there. That bodes very well for Meta that's reporting this week. We learned that the cloud business is doing well, especially the business of renting out GPU capacity. That's terrific for Microsoft with their Azure business and Amazon Web Services. So all in, those companies should be doing well. We expect a good result. Let's not forget that when we set expectations for them 3 months ago, we were in a very different place. We were still in the shadow of Liberation Day, and expectations were set low by the companies and by the investment community. So we have a low hurdle, things are going well, some tailwind from currency that never hurts. So a good setup for Microsoft, for Meta, for Amazon. As for Apple, the expectations are very low. That's probably the best thing we can say. As long as they sell a few more iPhones than we thought, I think they'll be fine.
Gil, I do want to ask you about trade. You mentioned Liberation Day, and of course there is an August 1st trade deadline that's this Friday as well. So these four major results from these companies will of course precede that event on Friday. How are these companies navigating trade?
Well, Apple is really the most impacted. They've had a challenge figuring out just their supply chain, where to make the iPhones, where to ship them from, what tariffs are those going to be subjected to. That's why they had to guide for $900 million of impact in this quarter that they're going to report. That's going to continue to be up in the air as they report because they're not going to have finality around tariffs going forward. So I would expect them to make another estimated guess about the impact in September quarter and then go from there. So we're not going to get finality around how Apple is going to be impacted by tariffs, but we are in a better place than we were 3 months ago, even for Apple, in terms of what the worst case scenarios are for tariffs.
In this environment, Gil, do you think it is still fair to refer to the group as the Magnificent Seven, or are you starting to see individual companies, in fact, outperform the broader group?
Yeah, I mean, NVIDIA and Microsoft are the two companies that have really added the most value over the last couple of years. Meta maybe has added a lot of value too, but then you have Google and Apple that have trailed a lot, and Tesla for a while has not really been magnificent. Really, that's a shrinking car company with a lot of big promises, which isn't to say they won't be successful in those endeavors, but those are really just venture investments in the future of mobility and robotics, as opposed to an actual impact on the economy, which the other six have in a very significant way. So it really is different stories. NVIDIA's added the most value, then Microsoft, then Meta, and the rest have really just performed in line with the market at best.
What from the earnings calls, Gil, when we hear from the executive team after the press release hits the wires, are you going to be listening most closely for?
I think there's always going to be a focus on the investment in AI, which includes capital investment by those, especially the big four companies, the big four investors in data center capacity, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and Meta. We already heard that Google's increasing their investment. We may hear that from the other three. That's, of course, going to reflect on NVIDIA, which doesn't report until next month, but it also reflects on their belief of how much AI is going to continue to grow in demand, how much return they're seeing from providing that capacity to their customers, how much benefit their customers are getting. So that's going to be a big area of focus. And then we also are going to want to hear from them about the health of the consumer, the health of enterprise technology spending. Again, they have a disproportionate amount of capturing that. And so we'll know a lot more by the end of this week about the health of the economy.
Gil, just quickly, are you bullish on these stocks going forward?
Probably in that order: Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Apple. Again, we just expect a push. Google already reported last week, and again, Nvidia is the one where we'll find out if spending is increasing. We may find out this week about exports into China. So this week is going to be a big week for all these companies.
Big week indeed. Gil Luria, Head of Technology Research at DA Davidson. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.